What's going on, family? This is Real Talk back at you, aka Real Lion. Subscribe to this channel if you be dropping a lot of videos, particularly about this Nipsey Hussle thing. Now this guy then played a white boy move, Mr. Eric Holder. All of a sudden he shows up at a mental institute. So he been under the radar for 2 days. Now we find it out the getaway car was the same female that allegedly that he had this dispute or argument with Nipsey Hussle. And everybody that knew this guy know he showed up more than one time. So I want to ask those people who think it's not a conspiracy when we say it was a military stunt. This guy didn't stop to shoot him not once, not twice, but 3 times and kicked this man. Like he knew he was going to get off. Like we said, this is an informant and a snitch. 2 different categories. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to figure out why this guy all of a sudden talking about he was an aspiring rapper and now he want to play the white boy role, mental illness. That's how I know this is something else. Somebody's in his ear. You know, and why is he still alive? That's what some would say if he was working for the feds and they gave him, because there's something else is going on that we're going to later find out by the power of the Most High God. So, Nipsey Hussle's dead. We know all the celebrities and said their piece and dabbed up and all of this other stuff. So I'm trying to figure out this woman. And this is deeper to I want to say to the single ladies who are dealing with brothers that have this mindset. Is this the case? You got to be very careful these days with who you have company, who you call friend, who you have in your circle. For those who talk about you keep your enemies close, that's knucklehead stuff. Anybody who still believe they keep your enemies closer than your friend, you're a fool. Because I'm going to tell you why. If I'm that close to you, I can hurt you just as much as you can hurt me and your loved ones. You keep everyone at arm's length or longer. You never have nobody that close to you. Nipsey Hussle then wasn't caught slipping. The brother didn't think, because at the same time, who would think would want to hurt this man? All the good this man have done. He pretty much bought the whole mall. He pretty much was one of the very few people, shout out to Russell Westbrook and others who have put in work in the community. But this brother right here got, like I'm going to say this again, he got help. I don't care what nobody say. Everybody have their opinion, I have mine, and that's the way it is. You don't have to agree with mine, but like I said before, what reason would I have to lie or gain? The people that I know that live there that I'm related to are saying the exact same thing I'm saying. In fact, I'm getting it by people like Tariq Rashid. I'm getting it by the Advice Show. I'm getting it by our family members that are there. Law enforcement, hearing what they're talking about. Those, whether they talking in code or line or what. All I know, there's something else is hiding this brother. Because this is just way too simple. Way too simple. All of a sudden, this brother show up at a mental institute. Come on, man. Come on. You cannot believe this is that simple. You cannot believe that that's all this brother had to do. All of a sudden, 2 days, nobody could find him. Then he willingly show up at a mental institution? Or a mental rehab place? Come on, man. And then no gun was on site. The police got him. It was that peaceful. Some would say maybe he was tired of running. No, because his people was getting popped off. His family member was getting popped. That's what was going on. That's how much heat that was. So I don't know if that had anything to do with the other. But like I said, you got to be very careful who you call friend, who you associate, and who they hang around. For real, for real. And if you still believe, I'm going to say this again, that you keep your enemies closer, that's stuff that people say on TV, not in real life. In my world, if somebody is your friend, then they're going to prove themselves to be your friend. If someone is your frenemy, that's the last person you want around you or around anybody. That's why I tell people, don't bring people that I don't know around me. It's just straight like that. Because Mr. Holder, if he did know him or know of him, he knew how to get to him. So how did they know that he would be like that without his guards? So that's why I say something else is going on here. How would they know Nipsey Hussle would be there? Because the way he walked up on him, like he was assured that he would be there. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to get everybody to understand. Because Nipsey's not like he just out there caught slipping or he just out and about like that. He was there meeting a friend to help somebody out. And if you could see, the people that was with him were people that was with him, they got shot too. So anyone talking about anybody in his circle set him up, no. That was some people who had some other intel. And if anybody know Marathon, know that he from time to time will be in there, but most of the time he in there deep. Because that's just the way it is. And everybody who's talking about for those who gonna help or don't help, listen, man, it is what it is, man. This brother right here is a good brother. May he rest in peace. Eric Gardner, or Eric Holders, I should say. Listen, man, we know what it is, and we sooner or later we're gonna find out something else. Just like we found out, and everybody told me, oh, it's not a conspiracy thing. Oh, it's not about Dr. Sebi. Oh, it's not about this and not about that. Do you tell me how all of a sudden this high profile of a man, this brother wanted to decide to shoot him in broad daylight, come back 3 times and kick him, and have a getaway car that was, I guess, a female, but no one knows a female. And my thing is, what is the race of the female? Because that's how we know how the backlash is going to be. In addition to that, I would also like to know, how did people even know he was there in the first place? You see what I'm saying? How do they know where to find him? Or he said, well, listen, surrender right here. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what this brother probably said. Listen, man, the heat is on me. I want to live. They on me. We don't know, man. Just like everybody else is speculating. We will find out even more. But what we do know is this brother was a snitch. This guy was not an active gang member, for what I heard. He was a gang member, not actively in the group, because most people would disassociate themselves from what I hear. And people who know of him from his history of being a shooter, how else you think this brother's walking around with the bodies that I've heard he have claimed? How else you think he's around? You think he's around because he told some bubblegum stuff? No, he was talking some major, he dropped some major info on some key people. You know what I mean? And maybe lied on a few people. So, again, why did Nipsey hustle how to get out the way? We have no idea. Because, like I said, a lot of stuff is chess, man. A lot of things ain't checkers. A lot of stuff you got to figure out, why is it going on? And it's just a shame that Nipsey Hussle had to pay with his life. Because to us, he had a lot more to do and a lot more to live for his son and his daughter. And his wife. What I heard, him and Lauren London are married. I thought that was just long-time girlfriend and boyfriend. But legally, they are married for what I hear. So, again, I want to know the comments. If anybody know anything that can contradict or different what I hear. Like I say, I have no problem with it, but based on the information that I've got, and I pretty much got the same info that everybody else get, and that have family and friends that live there, and bloggers, and the key people that you love and trust, these are the things we're trying to figure out. And no, this is not it. We're not giving nobody a pass. No, we're not trying to say that. Because the thing is, we're talking about transparency. We're talking about for those who do wrong and make people do wrong and hide their hands. Because you cannot tell me, a high-profile person like Nipsey Hussle, that this man would go back and shoot once, twice, and 3 times. And all of a sudden, no one can find him in a Chevrolet Cruze that got his license plate. Don't you know how easy it is to catch people these days in an American car? Do you know how easy it is to find anybody? That's why I don't know why people are doing these things. Car. You in a car, you got a cell phone. You know how easy for law enforcement all the cameras all over LA, you're not getting away with nothing, man. Especially in Chicago or New York. There's cameras everywhere, man. The same thing with the Jussie Smollett stuff that happened here. I don't know what he thought, but there's cameras everywhere, man. You cannot get away with stuff. That's why when we say crimes are done, this, that, and third, you may have a marginal error from time to time, but at the same time, like Jussie Smollett, he thought the camera would be pointing the direction he was going to be at, the stage, the host. Now, that's not here, I digress. But like I said, I want to know what is going to happen, because in a few more days, we're going to find out more. Because someone's going to talk. And whoever the case may be, regardless of the level, we're going to find out what's really, really going to be said. Because remember, law enforcement deals with a seniority and a level and a hierarchy. Depending on how hard this go, who sanctioned this hit, because some people talking about it was just as simple as him feeling disrespected with his girl, and his girl was how we say, egging him on, antagonizing him, talking about getting beef, knowing that this brother was already slow and stuff. We might find all of this stuff out. We might just find out this is just some dumb stuff. But that's typically how we do it, and we accept it because that's what they feed us. This is some random gang stuff. And for what I hear, Nipsey Hussle is not an active gang member. Is he affiliated with the Crips? Absolutely. Is this man affiliated with the Crips? Absolutely. Are they active gang members and gang banging? Absolutely not. So we need to put that to rest. And Nipsey Hussle, this is some kind of gang retaliation. No, it's not. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, shout out to all the bloggers that's been pumping positive stuff. All the brothers and sisters that really care about putting good content out here concerning Nipsey Hussle, our brother. I hear a lot of culture vultures and a lot of other biters saying a lot of knucklehead nonsense stuff. And I just laugh because I know they don't know what they're talking about or even have an idea about gang life and black culture. You just can't get caught up in what you hear in a rap record. You know what I mean? The same way you don't get caught up in no movie or no action movie where there's a lot of shooting and stabbing and sadistic stuff. Or watch Lifetime channels. Or watch all these other channels how to set up and kill people. So we need to give ourselves a break, but we know they don't give us a break. Eric Holder is just a puppeteer, not a puppet. In mind, because there's something else going on. I don't care what nobody say. And again, you heard it from me. When it comes out, I want everybody, all in their series, to come back and say, you know what, brother? I may not agree with this, that, and the third you said, but that right there, I agree with that. Or I have some, and that's all I ask, man. I'm no different and no better than anybody else. We want to find out what happened to our brother, regardless of what coast you from, regardless of what gang you is. We're all brothers, black and Hispanics. And we got to understand that, man. If we keep popping us off and we keep allowing them to use us because who control the money and then they got the papers on you, they can make you do certain things that you don't want to do. Whether you're in law enforcement, politics, whether you're in the medical field, whether you're a teacher, whether you're an electrician, whatever it is, you got privileged information to take advantage or exploit or expose people, like a lot of these heathens do. They get these jobs just so they can exploit and use people because they know they can passively and nobody will really know because they'll play by the book. And who knows who failed this man. But again, at the same time, you hear this all the time, mental illness. That's how I know that somebody else put this, brother, because this is not something we typically do. I could be wrong, but how many times you know a brother show up at the mental institution that have a known gang shooting or a shooting and come and arrested alive? Okay? So I'm going to just drop that in your ear and hopefully someone can have more information. Share, like, and comment. Thank you very much. Real Talk out of here. I'm your host, Real Lion. Peace.